each other. Dart made a non-committal sound, then peered through the dirty windshield as a huge red-tailed hawk sailed above the amber lights and disappeared. I'm being silly, Amanda thought. Ingenue and brittle. He hates that. Fluffy badinage that did not mean anything. Analyzing emotions. A habit developed in sub-deb days and always successful with men like Tim Merrill. Amanda shivered a little, lit a cigarette, and thought about Tim with remote and affectionate tolerance. The image of Tim presented itself to her now in a sort of phony glitter, like a carousel with the painted horses whirling by, the calliope screeching, and with Tim you caught the gold ring every time. She had very nearly persuaded herself that she was in love with him, because they laughed so much, and kept up a line of chatter by the hour, half teasing, half amorous. Like the night 3 years ago, after the Princeton prom, when 7 of them had all piled into Tim's Packard Roadster and careened 60 miles to the ocean at Seagirt to go swimming at dawn. They'd kidnapped a little Italian accordionist somewhere along the way, and he had played O Sole Mio for them on the beach, while they dashed in and out of the freezing surf in their evening clothes. Crazy, but fun. That was the night Tim had first asked her to marry him. But even then, long before she met Dart, or dreamed of the dark, profound compulsions of real love, she had not wanted to commit herself yet. Tim had scarcely listened to her groping refusal. He had kissed her on the nose, rubbed sand into her hair, and they had drunk together from his flask of imported gin. Tim had plenty of money to pay the best bootleggers. He still had. "Look, Dart, isn't that a man standing there ahead by the road?" Amanda asked, suddenly pointing and clutching his arm. "That's a cactus, my girl," Dart answered patiently. "A saguaro. We're getting down in desert country again." Amanda said, "Oh," and laughed. "You must bear with your tenderfoot bride." "I do," he said. And though he did not move his hands from the wheel, she felt the pressure of his arm against hers. She sighed voluptuously, resting her head on his shoulder. Her heart beat faster, and she thought of these past nights since their marriage. The surroundings had not mattered too much. She thought of the tourist court outside Harrisburg on her bridal night, a shabby little cabin, straw mattress and dust on the carpet. But there had been beauty in the dingy cabin with them. Fulfillment. No doubts, then, and no regrets. She thought of the note she had written to her mother from St. Louis. "I'm so happy. Don't ever worry about me. Marriage is a gorgeous, wonderful thing." This note was for reassurance in answer to her mother's misgivings during the weeks before the wedding. Mrs. Lawrence was worldly and realistic. She was also a pleasant woman and a tactful one, inclined to talk in worthy clichés, since they saved trouble and were never misunderstood. On the whole, she had managed to keep most of her doubts to herself once she had been forced to accept the strength of Amanda's desire for Dart. This time, however, she had voiced her worry. "But, baby, you hardly know the man. Shipboard flirtations don't really count. Nor is he an easy man to understand. Such different background from yours, too. And the life of a mining engineer's wife is no bed of roses. It isn't as though I could help you out, either, unfortunately." She sighed and cut across Amanda's protests. "Oh, I know, dear, money doesn't mean much to you. You haven't really had to face that yet. And I'm not so calloused by middle age that I don't know the strength of your love. But—" Here Mrs. Lawrence had smiled to soften the anxiety of her blue eyes under their frowning, carefully tweezed brows. "Well, there is the fact of Dart's rather peculiar parentage." Amanda had laughed. "Oh, if that's all! It adds to his charm. I think it's exciting." Mrs. Lawrence shook her head. "Marriage is a hard enough job at best, without adding extra handicaps." The flivver jounced through the bottom of a dip up onto a comparatively level stretch, and Dart pulled a cigarette from his pocket. He scraped the match with his thumbnail, and the flare lit his